The film begins inside a classroom at Tamaoka High School, with 32 students. One night, Kiyomi, the main character, receives a mysterious message from an unknown number. The message tells her that her class has been chosen to take part in the strangest game in the world, known as the King's Game. The rules of the game are clear and simple: no one is allowed to quit, and every order given by the king must be carried out within 24 hours. At the end of the message, the king sends the first command: student number 28 must confess their feelings to the person they love. Chiemi doesn't take it seriously, assumes it's just a joke, and goes to sleep calmly. The next morning she goes to school with her childhood friend Nobuaki, who reveals that he received the exact same message. They laugh about how strange it is, until it becomes clear that every student in the class received the message from the same number. Out of curiosity and for fun, the students encourage student number 28 to carry out the order. Under pressure from the rest of the class, he steps forward and confesses to the girl he likes in front of everyone. She rejects him, and the classroom bursts into laughter. Suddenly, everyone's phones ring at the same moment. A new message arrives from the king, confirming that the first order has been successfully completed. That night, the second order is sent. Students number 4 and 19 must share a kiss. Some students start to feel that things are going too far, but student number 19 doesn't see a problem. She steps forward and gives student number 4 a quick kiss, surrounded by cheers and laughter, while the boy stands there completely confused. Later, the third order arrives. Student number 18 is instructed to touch student number 3. Student number 3 panics, not wanting to become the center of everyone's attention. The next morning, the students arrive at school excited about what might happen next, but they are shocked to discover that student number 3 is absent. That night, a new message arrives with a truly horrifying revelation. Because students number 3 and 18 failed to carry out the king's order, their existence has been erased. At the same moment, their faces disappear from the class photo. Seconds later, another order arrives, demanding that students number 20 and 17 have sex. The situation becomes even more complicated because student number 17, Misaki, is in a relationship with a jealous and violent boy named Yahiro, who doesn't even allow her to talk to other guys. At first, the class still doesn't fully grasp how serious the situation is. But the next day, they realize that the two students who failed to follow the order have completely vanished. Their desks are gone, and their phone numbers have been deleted from everyone's phones. When they ask the teacher about them, she shocks them by saying that students with those names were never part of the class in the first place. Only then does everyone understand that the king is not joking. After class, they search through the school records but find no trace of the missing students. They try to contact their families, only to discover that even the parents have completely forgotten that they ever had children with those names. The only people who still remember students number 3 and 18 are their classmates. The one under the most fear and pressure is Misaki, who has been ordered to have sex with student number 20. Her boyfriend Yahiro threatens the boy to stay away from her. And although he still doesn't believe the game is real, Misaki has already made her decision that night, fully aware that ignoring the king's orders could mean disappearing forever. Later on, Chiemi spends the night at her close friend Nobuaki's house, since her father is out of town. They have dinner together with his parents and his younger sister. After dinner, Chiemi and Nobuaki sit in his room, when a new message suddenly arrives on their phones, confirming that the previous mission has been completed, meaning the two students actually slept together. Immediately after that, the next order arrives. This time, all students are commanded to follow Yahiro's orders for an entire day. The mission creates intense tension within the class, especially since Yahiro is still extremely angry at student number 20 because of his involvement with Misaki. The next morning, Yahiro completely loses his temper and slaps Misaki in front of everyone, accusing her of betrayal. His rage grows even stronger when he finds out that student number 20 did not come to school. He then gives a shocking order: student number 20 must die immediately. Elsewhere, student number 20 suddenly suffers a heart attack and dies in the middle of the street. At first, a few passersby gather around him, but moments later, they completely ignore his body and continue with their day as if nothing happened. Shortly after, the body disappears along with all of his belongings. Back in the classroom, the students are shocked to find that his desk has vanished. They try to understand what happened, but can't find any clear explanation. Some of them consider calling the police, but they quickly realize that no one would believe a story about a mysterious game killing students one by one. After school, Chiemi, Nobuaki, and their friend Noya receive a call from a girl named Ria, asking them to meet her at the library about something important. There, Ria tells them that she knows more about the king, and claims that what's happening isn't just a game, but a curse that has fallen on their class. When they ask her where she got this information, she avoids answering and leaves without explaining further. That night, the sixth order arrives. This time, students number 22 and 6 are told to take part in a class-wide vote, with the rest of the class choosing between them. The student who receives fewer votes will be punished, and anyone who refuses to vote will also be punished. The next morning, the tension is clear on the faces of the two selected students. Nobuaki steps in and suggests a simple plan. The class should split into two equal groups, with half voting for student 22, and the other half voting for student 6. This way, the votes would be tied, and both students would survive without breaking the rules. Everyone agrees and follows the plan. But when the votes are counted, it becomes clear that someone didn't stick to it. Student number 22 receives one extra vote and survives, while student number 6 collapses in terror. She panics so badly that she dies on the spot. Since she dies before the king can punish her, her body disappears moments later. Right after that, a new message arrives from the king, stating that because he was unable to punish student number 6 for losing, student number 26 will be killed until the person responsible confesses their wrongdoing. Everyone realizes that student number 26 is the one who betrayed the plan and deliberately voted against student number 6 out of hatred. Despite everyone knowing the truth, student number 26 refuses to confess and runs away. As a result, she disappears as well. The class then blames Nobuaki for what happened, believing that his idea caused the deaths of 2 students instead of saving them. Later that day, Ria contacts Chiemi again and asks her to meet at the library. There, she shows her a collection of old news articles describing similar incidents in which entire classes disappeared over the years. Together, they notice that these events have happened multiple times. But the most important question remains: if these students were completely erased from existence, who remembered them and wrote about their disappearance? Things become even stranger when Chiemi notices that photos of the missing classes include a boy who looks almost exactly like Nobuaki. This leads Ria to believe that Nobuaki may be connected to the king or to these incidents. However, Chiemi completely rejects the idea, since she has known Nobuaki since childhood. Later, a new order arrives from the king. All students are instructed to place their pens into a single box, then draw them out one by one according to their student numbers. No one is allowed to take more than 3 pens at a time. The student who is forced to take the very last pen will be the loser, and will disappear. The class follows the instructions under extreme tension, and it ends with one student holding the final 3 pens. The student holding the final 3 pens realizes that every possible choice comes with a terrible cost. If he pulls 1 pen, Nobuaki will die. If he pulls 2 pens, Chiemi will be the one who dies. He begins mocking and insulting Nobuaki, blaming him for the death of student number 6, a girl he had secretly had feelings for a long time. In the end, he makes his final decision and pulls all 3 pens at once, sacrificing himself. He does this out of deep guilt for being unable to save student number 6. Later that day, as Chiemi and the rest of the group are on their way home, they run into 2 girls who are laughing and acting as if everything is normal. When asked why, the girls explain that they have come up with a brilliant idea that will put an end to the king's game and stop it from killing them. After that, Chiemi and Nobuaki go to Chiemi's house, since her father is still absent. Nobuaki notices several photos hanging on the walls, but strangely, none of them clearly show people's faces. He also realizes something even more unsettling. Since the beginning of the events, Chiemi's father has never appeared face to face. He is either out of town or only speaks to her from inside his room. While they are talking, a new message arrives from the king, stating that someone has been eliminated for breaking the rules of the game. Immediately after, the screen fills with similar messages confirming that multiple players have been disqualified. Soon after, Naoya calls and reveals the shocking truth. The idea the 2 girls talked about was simply blocking the king. However, they ignored the most important rule. Anyone who quits the game is completely erased from existence. Because of this fatal mistake, most of the class disappears, leaving only 8 students behind. Another order then arrives from the king. The class president is instructed to send the word death in a text message to 2 people of her choosing. The people who receive the message will not be killed. The next day, the teacher enters the classroom without noticing that most of the students are gone. The class president becomes furious and tells the teacher to look around more carefully, then breaks down in tears. Chiemi takes her to the bathroom to calm her down, but when the class president is left alone inside one of the stalls, she suddenly dies. When Chiemi returns to check on her, she finds nothing but a pool of blood, while the class president herself has completely vanished. Shortly afterward, a message arrives from the king announcing the class president's decision. Since she was unable to complete the mission, the responsibility is transferred to Nobuaki. This time, anyone who receives the message will die, and he must choose 3 people instead of 2. At this point, the remaining students realize that the ending will be the same for all of them, but they decide not to give up without one final attempt. Chiemi, Naoya, and Ria stay behind at the school, while Nobuaki leaves with 3 other students to visit the oldest school where the very first disappearances were reported. According to old articles, those incidents took place in a time before mobile phones existed, when the king communicated with students through handwritten letters. The game was played under the same rules, and it appears that one single winner managed to survive in the end. The students split up and searched the school for any clue that might reveal the origin of the game. Suddenly, Nobuaki is struck hard on the head and loses consciousness. When he wakes up, he finds himself tied up, with the 3 classmates standing in front of him. They tell him that they studied the photos in the articles, and notice that Nobuaki appears in all of them. This leads them to believe that he is the king himself, and that killing him is the only way to end the game forever. Elsewhere, after careful analysis, Ria reaches a completely different conclusion. She insists that the articles are nothing more than a carefully designed trap. If no one can remember the students who disappeared, then it should be impossible for these articles to exist in the first place. That means they are a deception created by the king to turn the students against each other. When the others connect the dots, they realize that the 3 students who went with Nobuaki have fallen into the king's trap, and that Nobuaki's life is in real danger. Naoya immediately tries to contact Nobuaki, but the group refuses to answer. At the same time, the 3 students are just about to kill Nobuaki, but at the very last moment, they suddenly disappear before they can harm him. It is later revealed that Naoya managed to access Nobuaki's email, and sent all 3 of them a message containing the word death. With that, the king's mission is completed, and the 3 students vanish instantly. The few students who are still alive receive a new message from the king, announcing that Naoya will be eliminated for pretending to be someone else. Nobuaki is shocked, and immediately tries to call his friend, but Naoya disappears in the middle of the call. After that, Nobuaki begins searching the school, and comes across a photograph he had seen before at Chiemi's house, which only deepens his suspicion and confusion. Back at the school, Ria finally manages to solve the mystery of the king's game and uncover its true purpose. She comes to the conclusion that the one truly running the game is not the king himself. Instead, the game was designed from the very beginning to torture and punish the king. Throughout the game, the rules were mostly fair, except for one single moment, when the operator used an unfair trick and falsely made the students believe that Nobuaki was the king. The goal was clear, to get rid of Nobuaki. And with his death, Chiemi would be the one to suffer the most. This means the game was actually a tool meant to psychologically torture Chiemi, making her the real king without her even realizing it. Chiemi refuses to believe this, and rushes toward the classroom. There, she finds Nobuaki sitting at his desk, as if he had been waiting for her. He tells her the full truth. When the king's game was played for the first time, only one person survived, and that person was Chiemi herself. He reveals that after Chiemi won the first time, she refused to become the next king, as the rules required. As punishment, she was cursed with eternal participation in the game, and had her memory erased. Since then, Chiemi has been moving from one school to another, starting a new life each time with fake memories of her childhood and new friends. But every time, she was forced to watch them die one by one, reliving the same trauma over and over again without ever remembering why. Nobuaki believes that the only way to stop New King's games from appearing is to kill Chiemi and end the curse at its source. At the same time, Ria receives a message from the king telling her that she has become a threat to the continuation of the game, and therefore must be eliminated. In the end, only Chiemi and Nobuaki remain alive. Nobuaki tries to kill her, but she manages to escape to the basement. A violent struggle breaks out between them, ending with Chiemi killing Nobuaki in self-defense. Elsewhere, Nobuaki's father mocks his wife for accidentally preparing food for 4 people, even though they only have one daughter. The family laughs, as Nobuaki's existence has been completely erased from their memories, as if he had never existed at all. 6 months later, the scene returns to a school. The pain has become too much for Chiemi to bear, and she dies as a result of everything she went through. But the story does not end there. At another school in a different city, a new girl arrives, and it is Chiemi who welcomes her. It becomes clear that Chiemi is still alive because of the curse, and that the king's game will continue unless she herself finds a way to end it forever.